TitleMatchNetwork.com.
Never really liked Lex Luger, even when I first met him.
Why is that?
He just rubbed me wrong. He just, and sometimes it's
a lot of people say that though.
Well, a lot of people say that about me too, and they make an assumption about me that isn't really true, not necessarily just because of the way my eyes are set or something. I always look pissed off, and it's not true. And Lex had that same kind of character or charisma about him. He had a look about him and the way he carried himself. He communicated arrogance when he might not have really been feeling it, but that's how he took it. And that's how I took it when I first met him. He was a very arrogant guy to me at that time. And he was the one guy that I just kind of, I don't like him.
How did you find out that Lex was going to be available to jump to WCW? And what led you to deciding to go for it?
Sting came to me at a television taping because Sting and Lex had always maintained they were business partners, so they were very, very close. Sting came to me, and by that time I had now evolved into a pretty good friendship with Sting, and there was honesty and the ability to communicate there. So Sting came to me very confidentially, and he said, "Hey, Lex would like to come back." And I had no taste in my mouth at all to bring Lex Luger back. I saw no value in it in the pre-Nitro launch conversation. But Sting was, he was persuasive, and he goes, "Just take a meeting with him, just talk to him." And I did. We met at Sting's house, and Sting's, he had it, and when he lived in Atlanta, he had a little apartment above his garage. So we sat up there and we talked, and I remember leaving there going, "Fuck, I don't really want to hire this guy. He's still an arrogant prick." And I didn't have the idea of how I was going to use him at that time. So it was just a question, do I want to bring him back or not? I didn't have the idea in my back pocket, so to speak, in terms of what we did on Nitro. So I thought about it, and I told Steve, I said, "I'm just not feeling it. I don't trust him. He was what he was when he was here, and I was glad that he left. Why would I want to bring him back? It's like you get a bad tooth. You finally get the dentist to pull it out. Now what? Now you want to put it back in. Why would you do that?" Sting, you just worked me over pretty good in a positive way. And I said, "All right, I'll hire him back, but it's not going to be a very respectful deal." And I got Lex on the phone, and I don't remember the specific numbers, but it was like $125,000 a year, 3-month contract. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. And if it does work, we'll talk about what you're going to make afterwards. It was a fraction of what he was making when he left. And he came back as a different person.
If word leaked about Lex ahead of time, would you have still gone for
it? I don't know. It's hard to say. If I would have still introduced Lex the way we did, if it would have leaked, possibly, but I'd have been pissed.
Oh, yeah. How important was Lex to the success of Nitro early, in your opinion?
I think that circumstance kind of set the tone for what Nitro was going to be. And by the way, another facet of the launch of Nitro was a focus group and some research we did with wrestling fans that both watched WWF and WCW, and it was kind of a blind thing, so they didn't know that I was in the room watching behind a 2-way or 1-way mirror, whatever it was. And it was really good research. And I remember looking at the results of that research and the things that I kept hearing, that fans wanted to see was surprises, they wanted to be unpredictable. They want, all the different things, which helped me, by the way, really refine that list of how to be different. And I knew that the element of surprise was such a big component to the fans. So I think the element of surprise and the fact that Lex was the first one, because we did a lot of it afterwards, but that moment that Lex was a part of was very instrumental for setting the tone.
TitleMatchNetwork.com